Hey guys, this is Shaun Slone and welcome back to Find Love or Die Trying. Okay, so I'm testing out this face cam or camera, but I don't webcam to see how well it works. And this is probably gonna be one of the few videos that I have a face cam on. I don't know if I'm gonna keep using it or not. It just depends on how I like the quality of this one and everything. But alright, let's go. It's hardly a surprise, but I didn't sleep well last night. Who could after what happened? Just like that, we're on to day 3. I gotta thank you, Shaun. You're making my job easy. I actually get to spend my nights doing productive things now. I'm happy to help with that, however that works. You alright? You don't seem to have your usual energy. Careful, Shaun. One slip up with Cat and this is all over. I'm good. Thanks, Cat. I just didn't sleep too well. Happens to the best of us. Anyway, it goes without saying that Yui's definitely a contender for the final ceremony, yeah, yes. Of course. A woman like Yui, anyone would be lucky to have her. Damn straight. Though she's a very different kind of woman than Scarlet, you got a tough choice down the road. Though you've also got a tough choice to make right now. Who's the unlucky girl today? So, who should I be asking on a date tomorrow? Honestly, joking aside, I think you should ask Violet. Really? I don't think she's in shape to put on a good show. I mean, we need all of us to be able to work together. Well, to get out of here, right? Or work together well to get out of here. I don't think Violet would be able to until she's feeling better. And what better way to do that than for a date to make you feel special? Tara does have a great point. I always make great points. Like seeing if I could arm wrestle one of the zombies Scarlet made. That went great. What? Oh, I remember that. Wait, I was the zombie. That was not a good idea at all. Can I take my vote back? What do you think, Shaun? I like the idea. We could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm sure there's something that we could do to help us escape that we can only do on a date with Violet. I've got it. Tomorrow you'll be going on a date with Violet. Here's what you gotta do. Violet. I've always wanted to spend more time with her, and there's no time like the present. We'll make it happen. I do have one small request, though. What's that? And will it give me ratings? I think it will. Let's hear it. I noticed Violet being a little down lately, so I wanted to cheer her up. I heard that she really likes cooking, especially in groups. Do you mind if we cook with the staff at noon? I don't see why not. Let's hope it goes better than the last time. Oh, hi Shaun. Why'd you bring me here? I'm in a bit of a predicament. You see, I may have made an irresponsible bet. I did not take you for a gambler. Well, I'm not, but the thing is, I heard the cooks bragging they were the best chefs on the island. But hey, I've tried the food you've made before. I know but nobody else can come close to how good you are. So I may have challenged them all to a competition in your name. What? You are ridiculous, Shaun. Violet laughed out loud. There's that smile I like so much. It was nice to see it again. Are you being serious? Dead serious. In a few hours, hundreds of staff are gonna come here. Some of them as challenging cooks, some of them as judges, the rest of them looking for lunch. All of them hungry. Think you're up for the challenge? I'm ready to crush the opposition. They will rue the day they challenge me. That's the Violet I like to see. Anyway, what's the theme of this contest? Can't tell you just yet. It'll be announced when it's cooking time. I do like a challenge. Would you care to stay with me as I prepare for the festivities? Of course, Violet. Thank you, Shaun. I know why we're doing this, and I appreciate it. I'm not ready to talk about it just yet, but I feel happier already. knowing you're looking out for me. Always, that one. I'm always here for you, Violet. And I for you as well, Shaun. We spent the time before the contest just talking about pleasant things, completely unrelated to the show. Completely unrelated to anything of consequence. Sometimes when bad things happen, what you need most is just a semblance of normalcy. By the time noon rolled around, hundreds of staff members were filling up the kitchen. I don't want to face you, Violet, but I will if I have to. Oh, you're challenging me? Like a snail challenging the mighty eagle, you have my respect. Is it too late to change sides? You're going down, Violet. We're the Brothers 5, the best chefs on the island. What's that too? What I meant to say is, wow, you really are the best chef on the island. That's right. Damn it, bros, you can't let her intimidate you like this. If we do, she's already won. Say something, for. We will meet on the culinary battlefield, Violet. You may have my brothers running for the hills, but not me and 5. Come at me. Let us brandish our forks against each other. 5, do you have anything to say? Wait, what's happening? I do hope you'll entertain me, brothers. Violet raised a pan towards them. Let us begin. It's time for the cook-off to end all cook-offs. Each cook will cook their own version of a mystery dish, a dish that I will soon reveal for the first time ever. The judges will be everyone who is not a contestant. You must be joking, there's hundreds of people here. How could we ever feed everybody? That's not my problem. I definitely didn't come up with rules for this tournament on the spot. Liar. Violet laughed once more. That was enough to keep this charade going. The mystery dish will be spaghetti and meatballs. Like taking candy from a baby. Not this again. Oh god, I think I'm gonna faint. 1 collapsed on the ground. 1 down, 4 to go. Bro! I knew we should have been accountants. Why are we fooling ourselves? You each have 1 hour. No late submissions will be accepted. Let the games begin. The contestants that were still conscious rush off to gather ingredients. How are they gonna make that much food? I'm sure they'll figure something out. I'll watch each of them cook furiously at breakneck speed. Violet was hard at work, sweat streaming down her face. I can't freaking talk right now, Jesus. With the biggest smile I'd seen her have all day. Couldn't help but smile as well. At the same time, 4 was trying to cook his spaghetti with only a microwave. Not sure this would be too much of a contest. 1 minute left. Violet filled hundreds of laid out bowls with spaghetti and meatballs in a matter of moments. You blinked, you'd miss her finish the whole row. God. Each looked both delicious and artistic. You would have thought a cook would have spent much longer than an hour putting each of them together. 5 settled on making about 4.5 bowls. I guess everyone has their own pace. Time's up. It's time to judge. The crowd cheered as they stampeded to the laid out bowls. They were practically salivating. After everybody wolfed down bowls from each of the contestants, they submitted their vote. People have spoken. And with a resounding majority, our first ever winner of the Best Chef on the Island in the Middle of Nowhere award is... Violet! The crowd cheered, myself included. I did it! Me, I did it! Violet jumped up and down with joy. I felt like a kid in a candy store, just from one look at her. You won fair and square. You should be proud of yourself. Yeah, your food was the best I've ever had. Though if you consider our living standards, that doesn't mean too much. Hey, I just had an idea. What if we get Violet to cook for the staff at lunch, instead of us? Seriously? It's been years since we had real food. What's that supposed to mean? Honestly, I think it's a great idea. I know I hide it well, but I really have no idea what I'm doing in the kitchen. No way, bro. Violet and I took one look at each other and couldn't help but laugh. I would love to, you guys. The crowd's enthusiasm reached a level of uproarious applause. Oh goodness, you're all too kind. I put my arm around her and smiled. Guess you got a new job now, Violet. Guess I do. Violet leaned in to kiss me on the lips. For a moment, time stood still, and the only thing you could hear was the crowd's cheer getting even louder. We laughed together. Had so much fun today, Shaun, thanks to you. Care to join me by the beach after we clean this place up? Sounds like a plan. I'll see you there then. Hey. She reached her hand out to mine and I held hers tight in return. Hey, Violet. You really gave them a great show today, you know. Couldn't have done that without my ever so charming television host. We walked along the beach, our feet bare in the inviting water of the ocean. Really, I'm so grateful to you, Shaun. Last night, finding out what my parents did, that was the lowest point I'd ever been to. I held her hand even tighter. Honestly, I didn't see a way out. Escaping the island or not, everything seemed like a dead end. Can we talk about this on the beach? Did they figure that out? Oh yeah, it's night. We're good. But today you helped me remember that even without them, I've still got me. And I like me quite a bit. You really are incredible, Violet. That was all you. With you. Violet mumbled something under her breath. Sorry, what was that? Sorry, let me try again. I know I'd be fine on my own, but I'd like me better if I was with you. When we get out of here, I do hope you join me for that cruise. She kissed me again. It felt like magic. Violet, She put her finger against my lips. I know, it's not quite the time for this conversation yet. But please do remember what I've said, when this is all over. Do you mind if we walk for just a little longer? I don't want this to end. I'd like that. We walked together till the dead of night. It was nothing less than magical. Just after we came back, a huge storm hit outside. We just missed it. Hope you two enjoyed your date today. Sorry to interrupt, but it's time we get the show on the road. Allie took out the master key from her pocket, spun it around the ring with her finger, then put it in the locked door. And we're in. She turned the lock and pulled the door open. Whoa, the door's a little heavier than I thought it would be. Must be soundproof or something. Whatever, let's go. Oh man, not another staircase. They would save so much money if they just put this on the main floor. But it wouldn't be very secret then, would it? Secret schmeekret. It's behind a locked door. I guess you have a point. Though there was another staircase, it wasn't nearly as long as the one that led to the lab. We'd been walking down the steps for only a few moments when we saw where they led. This has to be it. What's it? A while back, Kat told me that all the information on this island was stored in books. They didn't use anything digital or with the internet. I think I remember that too. Well, it's bullshit. They're an evil corporation intent on world domination through fear and control. Of course they have the internet. I think we've just found a way into their closets. Skeletons and all. Sounds like a pretty big deal. That's an understatement. The information in here could change the tide of the war. It could give the resistance a real fighting chance, I think. But there's more than that, too. What do you mean? My dad, mom, and my brother got taken by these guys a long time ago. I don't even know if they're still alive. I was too young to really understand what was happening. If there's anything that could help me find them again, or at least find out what happened to them, it's in this computer. That was the real reason I came here. The whole reason I risked everything. What if it doesn't have what I'm looking for? What if... Allie? Yui ran to Allie's side and hugged her tightly. It's gonna be okay. You believe in me, right? She took deep breaths. I'm sorry you had to see that. I'm okay now. Thanks, Yui. I didn't do anything. Are you ready? Let's do this. I looked at Violet as Allie prepared to turn the computer on. She looked as concerned as I did, but we couldn't let it show. The screen lit up with a single message. Password required. Well, I did think it was going a little too smoothly. I'm not giving up just yet, though. Just tried a few different passwords on the keyboard, but none of them worked. Damn it. I bet only Damien or Kat know this, and there's no way we could just ask them. Silence fell upon the room. It can't end like this. It just can't. I've got an idea. It's not going to involve wrestling zombies again, is it? Hey, I've had better ideas than that. What I meant to say is that I think I have a way to crack the code. I'm a programmer. I can make something that could try all the possibilities for the password. It would take some time, especially if it locks me out after too many attempts, but eventually I'd get the password. Though there's no guarantee we'd get the answer before the show was over. It's a lot better of a shot than I thought we had. Allie ran over to Tara and hugged her tightly. Thank you, you awesome little you. What? This is nice. Feel free to compliment me more. In the meantime, the rest of us can try to figure out what the password would be as well. That reminds me, I need to tell you guys something important. What's that? I have our escape plan. She took out the master key and held it out for us to see. It's a hidden hangar I found by the beach, just a little further from where I first found the plane. Now that we have this key and we know that it works, we can use it to disable the hangar security, commandeer a plane, and fly the hell out of here. We practically jump for joy. Can't believe it. We're almost out of here. It's been a long time coming. Well, soon, but not just yet. With this storm raging, there's no way we're getting anywhere tonight. Least of all off the ground. But if there's clear skies tomorrow night, that's where we'll be. What about the computer? Don't you need to crack it before we go? Yeah, what about your family? Well, that'd be the ideal case. But honestly, I've gotten to know you guys and care about you guys, and I've decided that it's more important to save the people I care about that are right in front of me than chase a pipe dream. No, I won't accept it. If I were in your shoes and I was looking for my brothers and I just gave up looking for them, I'd regret it forever, and I know you would too. But I can't ask you guys to stay here any longer. We're in danger if we stay here. Yui speaks for us too. To have family that you really care about, and that cares about you too, you can't give up on that. We're not going anywhere until we crack that code, even if it takes till the last day. You guys. No, I can't allow it. I won't take that chance with your lives. I'm not backing down on this. What do you think, Shaun? We need to take this chance. Allie, I think you need this. Guys, take a chill pill for a second. I'm a programming god, best of the best. I'm gonna have that code cracked by tomorrow, and that's a promise. So don't worry, okay? I love you guys. Thank you so much, really. Why are you thanking all of us? I'm the one who has to write the code and shit. We laughed together. Something that I thought might have been impossible after the initial bad news. We're in this together. We're getting out together. No one gets left behind. After we called it a night, I laid in bed, deep in thought. Who'd have thought I could have ended the day feeling inspired after everything that happened last night? We've got this. Shaun, one more thing before we turn in for the night. What's up, Tara? I got caught up in the heat of the moment earlier and... Oh no. I got no idea. No, I do not like where this is going. How to do this, because... I remembered that all I know about hacking are videos of people typing really fast and saying I'm in, and... Oh my gosh. I practically flew out of bed. Thank God it was just a nightmare. What's it take to get a good night's sleep on a killer dating show? Come on. Okay, whoa. Alright. Had me going there for a second. What are you smiling about? just feels like things are going my way lately. Yesterday's date with Violet still has me feeling as giddy as a little kid. It's almost like there's perks to being on a killer dating show. Well, don't get too comfortable. You still got a few days left, and then it's back to the regular. Looking forward to that. I bet. Better sooner than later. Better sooner than later. You cost too much to keep around. Anyway, the $1,000,000 question. Who's today's lucky girl? That'd be... So tomorrow, it's gonna be either Tara or Allie. It's probably best if we go with Tara. But doesn't Tara need time to crack the code? Nah, I already finished making the code breaker. It's trying every password as we speak. No guarantee it'll finish before we're both done our dates, but it's worth a shot. Thank you, Tara. Don't worry about it. Besides, I think it's better if we save your date for last. Why's that? I don't know. You're some super spy from some super secret organization. Definitely got bigger heist potential than I do. I don't know about that, but sounds good to me. I'll use the time to prepare some contingency plans. Scarlet, Violet, Yui, I'm gonna need you guys for this. Happy to provide assistance. You bet. I'll help however I can. Sweet. Alright, right. Shaun. What's up? I didn't just build a code breaker. I built a game that works with it too. What do you mean? Of course she did. She handed me her console. I just whipped it up real quick. Looks like a code breaking game, but really it works directly with the computer we found. If you get the password right in this game, we'll have access to the computer. Make sense? Amazing. I can't believe you whipped up something so fast. It wasn't hard. It was just a big middle finger to my mom, who thought all my screen time was a waste of time. Anyway, I figure we can play this game here and there during our date. Try whatever passwords come to mind. Obviously, not for the whole date because of ratings and all, but as much as we can. Sure this will work? Trust me, when have I ever been wrong? She cackled maniacally. Let's hope this works. I'd like to spend the day with Tara. That so? Well, we'll make it happen. Try not to spend all of it playing games though. Believe it or not, that isn't what viewers want in a prime time slot. No promises, but I'll try my best. Ain't much, but I'll take that. Sorry, Kat. It's pretty much the plan. Hey, Shaun, you up to play some games? I'd love to, but Kat wants us to do some other games. It is, sweet. There's no stopping Tara when she puts her mind to something. We started playing together in the games room while making pleasant conversation. Normal enough to seem like a regular conversation, cryptic enough to disguise what we were trying to do. Even if Tara and I never went on crazy adventures like I did with Allie, it didn't make moments with her any less special. If I forget we're trying to hack into some confidential database, this really is like a fun day at home with your partner. How about Tara's the best? It's worth a shot. Nope, doesn't work. Nerve of them. Tara rules? That's a miss. Is the T capitalized? Maybe it had a 0, 1, 2, 3 at the end of it. Thank goodness we have the code breaker running in the background. I'm gonna switch gears. Let's give Kat some footage to work with to keep us alive. Good God, Shaun, why the sun? Go on without me. Okay, maybe this wasn't the best idea. Some way or another, we always end up back inside the mansion, huh? There's nothing wrong with that. I guess you're right. Up for a few more rounds of that game we just played? Sure. How about Damian Black sucks? Nope, doesn't work. Cat Black sucks? Not that either. What about Shaun? Oh, come on now, you're just guessing. Like I wasn't before. Well, I'll try it. Two of us looked at each other like deer in the headlights. What? We cheered as if our favorite team just won at a sporting event. Wait a minute. Why would the password be your name? Doesn't make any sense. My guess is as good as yours. Maybe we'll find out tonight. I hope so. Well, I think I've had enough of games for today. Never thought I'd hear you say that, Tara. I'm full of surprises. We can spread the good news after. How about we try something new today? Something outside. Sounds like a plan to me. Awesome, let's go. We ended up going back inside a minute later, but the rest of the day with Tara was still a lot of fun. And we're in. The password promptly closed with a satisfying ding ding. Prompt closed. Why couldn't I? Nothing in my head was like, hey, that sounds right. Whoa, there's a lot of stuff in here. Why would there be a folder called homework? Oh, that is definitely a porn folder name. Probably. Tara was about to open it until Ali intervened. Do you mind if I take a look? Forget why we were here for a second. Sure. Let's see. Ali started going through folders, databases, reports, anything that could be useful. At the same time, Tara started downloading all the files through her console. Doesn't look like there's anything here about why my name was the password. All the rest of us could do was give Ali and Tara the space they needed. Seems like it's only gonna be up from here, team. I was worried for Ali, especially if we couldn't get into the computer, but looks like we got it after all. It's too soon to say anything, but I do hope you're right. Let's not jinx it. So what's the first thing you're gonna do when we're out of here? I thought we weren't going to jinx it. I'm gonna get straight back to helping people, the way I know best. Nothing's changed in that regard. That's a lovely that's a lovely aspiration. Do me a favor and make sure your inventions don't get used on yourself again, okay? I mean, it's not like I was trying to. I admire how you can be so sure. As excited as I am to leave this place, I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing after. It's totally okay, Violet. That's part of the fun of life, just figuring it out as you go. I suppose so. Violet looked at me and smiled. It's pretty much my plan at this point, too. Guess who's back, bit? What Tara wants to say is, we did it. I've got everything. I got everything I need to help turn the tide of the war, and I know where my family is, and they're alive. I've never seen Ali so happy. She jumped towards me and hugged me. Oof. That's fantastic. It's such a relief. I'm so happy for you, Ali. Good job, Tara. You cracked the code. Not all at once now. Couldn't have done it without you guys. Thank you so much. We didn't have to wait this long to leave, but you guys did it for me and my family. I can't ever thank you enough. She pulled out the master key from her back pocket and swirled it around in her right hand. You guys ready to get out of here? Actually, I was thinking of staying here for the rest of my life. Not having internet is the best thing ever. Couldn't agree more. Let's get out of here. After you, Ali. We followed Ali out of the mansion through the forest into the hangar. Whoa, I did not see this. Granted, I don't go outside. I don't blame you, it's pretty out of the way. Not that we have to worry about it now. Ali pulled out the master key and swirled it around her right hand. She walked to the door of the hangar and put the key into its lock. She tried to turn it, but it didn't work. Tried a few more times, but the lock refused to budge. I don't understand. I've seen Cat use this key everywhere, including here. They must have changed the locks. Does it mean we're stuck here? It was rare that Ali tripped over her words. It hurt to see her so defeated. I don't know. An uncomfortable silence fell over us. Am I gonna die here? Are all of us? No, we are not out of this just yet. I refuse to give up again. We can't get into the hangar. There's no way to break in without triggering the alarms. For now, yes, but getting in later is a different story. If I remember correctly, whenever you went on a third date with Shaun, you would fly in a plane together. I'm assuming that plane was you two. It's just like you to try something crazy and drag in Shaun. I can't refute that. That was definitely us. How we never died on those plane rides, I'll never know. That means the staff didn't mind if you take the plane during the date, which means we should be able to ask for the key temporarily. We'd still be able to get to the plane. It just has to be during tomorrow's date. There'd be way more staff around than usual, but we'd still have a chance. Exactly. The rest of us can be relatively close by, perhaps at the beach to avoid suspicion. Then, when you guys get the plane, we run over, you pick us up, and we're out of here. This could work. It's better than how my plan turned out, anyway. I was worried for a second there, but it was for nothing. We've got this. We'd be in a tight spot without you. It is a team effort. Without each of us here, we would be stuck here with no chance of escaping, I'm sure. Speak for yourself. I'm sure I can get out of here on my own. You would shut down the second you reach the beach, Tara. On second thought, maybe teamwork makes the dream work. We laughed together. The move was infinitely better than it was just a few moments ago. We spent the rest of the night talking through the details of the plan, including what we do if the unexpected happened. One thing was for sure, though. We weren't giving up on getting out of here. It all ends tomorrow. What do you know, Shaun? You actually made it to the last one-on-one date. How are you feeling? Pretty good. Honestly, pretty good. I'm excited to see how a day with Allie will be. Oh, you've got a real surprise in store. She has all of us in the crew working extra hard to prepare a special date for you. By all of us in the crew, I mean the Brothers 5. How about you go find her? Spend some time together while we set things up for you. Sounds like a plan, Kat. Let's see. Oh, looks like she's by the beach. Guess that's where I'm headed. Don't do anything we can't air. Murder is okay, but God forbid someone takes their top off. What? I waved at Kat as I went on my way. Just as Kat said, Allie was by the beach. She was looking out at the ocean. Morning, Allie. Shaun, it's always nice to see you. The difference between Allie's voice during the day and night was like day and night. What? I guess we do have to worry about the cameras, but still, it takes some getting used to. I know it's going to be tough to top your previous dates with all the other girls, but I think I have a good shot. Looking forward to it, Allie. You better be. You've been saving the best for last. She reached for my hand. Walk with me? I reached for her outstretched hand. It'd be my pleasure. The two of us walked around the beach for a while, getting to know each other. So what will you be doing when the show's over? First thing I'm gonna do is say hey to my family again, and make them a nice dinner. I'm sure that they've gotten sick with worry in the weeks since I've been gone. I wonder what they're thinking now. It's been at least 2 years since then. Kat was right. Sometimes not remembering is a blessing. Wait. Allie doesn't have that luxury. Never mind. I was gonna say, like, if we get bad ratings now, which I don't think it really actually has to do with ratings. I think we're just trapped here either way. I don't think ratings has anything to do with anything, but I think, like, I was gonna say that maybe, like, how are they gonna get the plane out and everything before that happens? And then I realized they don't do it until, like, the date's completely over. Anyway, I've got a surprise for you. Come on. She pulled me along by the hand into the forest. I have to say, Alex really impressed me. Of course, it was her deliberate plan to come into the forest and get to the hangar, but she made it seem so spontaneous. You're gonna love it. I saw it the same moment she did. It was all we could do was stand and watch. No. She staggered and almost fell. And who could blame her? The hangar was engulfed in roaring flames. The heat was incredible. There was no way either of us could take another step towards the hangar without being burned alive. The stench of burning oil assaulted me without mercy. We were at a loss for words. In front of all those flames was her, walking away from the flames. Somehow I just knew it was her. Sorry, Allie. Shaun. There's been a small change of plans. I'm sure you can tell, but we've hit a few snags with the hangar. How about you two spend your day on the ground instead? I want to scream. I want to attack her with every bone in my body. I don't want to attack her. But I also do want to attack her. But if I attack her, then it's already done. But I can't. I can't or I'll be killed. Not just me, but everyone else. To hold myself back from giving away what this plane meant to me took all the strength I had. I need to calm down. Cat might be able to read my face and see that. Sounds fine to me, Cat. I'm just glad you're safe. What happened? We're still looking into it. Well, either way, there's nothing we can do about that. How about we go somewhere else, Shaun? She reached for my hand and held it tight. How could she smile like this at me? Of course, Allie. For the rest of the day, Allie and I put on the performance of a lifetime. Though our faces were all smiles and laughter, we knew, now more than ever, that we were trapped in Cat's macabre puppet show. And Cat loved to make us dance. She must have known we were trying to escape. But how? Did we make a mistake? Did Ford give us away? Should we have ever trusted him in the first place? Who can I trust now? Time is ticking, and even this show looms closer and closer. It's time I'm supposed to meet with the group, but what would we even do? There's no way we can escape. Our last chance died with the hangar. Should I just make a break for it? No, I'd never make it. And the others would suffer from my mistake. What do I do? You don't look so good, Shaun. I've been better. Hasn't exactly been sunshine and rainbows today. You really aren't much for acting, are you, Shaun? Look, I already know about you and your plan to escape. My blood ran cold. You know, take the plane, fly away from here. Wasn't hard to figure out. Tried to say something in my defense, but my voice wouldn't come out. It was all I could do to stand wide-eyed. I know you and the others found the lab, got your memories back. Well, at least the others did. I know that every night you all work together to try to find a way out. I mean, of course I know. I'm the reason why you got this far. What do you mean? Just follow me. Save all of us time. We walked to the locked room near the games room. She took out her master key and spun it around. Never really thought a bunny could take a key from me, right? Honestly, I don't know what to believe anymore. She opened the door. The others were inside, looking as surprised as I was. Give me one good reason why I shouldn't kill you right now, Cat. How about two? First, your inside man was never four. It was me. I mean, come on, he wouldn't be smart enough for something like this. Second, you only ever had a chance of escaping this island because of me. Newsflash, Allie, those tanks never just bug out. You're the one who let me out of my tank. The one and only. Allie was at a loss for words, and I was no different. What do you want, Cat? Honestly, same thing as you guys. I want off this crazy train. I want out. I want you guys to include me in your little escape plan. What? Do I have something on my face? As hard as it is to believe, those people want to stay on this island is pretty short. Hell no, we can't trust you. I'm not sure how, but I remember. I tried to escape with you before. I trusted you, I even fell for you. Even 5 girls isn't enough. Unbelievable. Then you betrayed me, and shot me. There's no way we could ever trust you. You're just gonna stab us in the back. Is that true, Cat? I'm ashamed to say it is. I didn't have a choice. You know how it is with Damien? Doesn't matter if you share the same blood. You'll take the people you love hostage and use them to force you to dance to his tune. I'm sorry I betrayed you, Shaun. I really am. But if I had to do it again, I'd do it again in a heartbeat, because there's someone I needed to save. I know it must look like the villain to you, but believe me, I have people I care about too. If you're so compassionate, how come you burned up our only way out of here? You're lucky I did, Shaun. If you'd actually flown as planned, you'd all be at the bottom of the ocean right now. What do you mean? It's a cruel trick at Damien's. He knew there was a chance that people in the show would recover their memories and try to escape. So he made us build the hangar, and the plane. It's the one place anyone trying to escape would go. Exactly. Told you in the past, Allie. Never fly that plane, or take the boat, out of sight of this island. If you did, you'd have blown up like fireworks. That Allie and I were in that plane, which was a little more than a flying death trap, sent a chill down my spine. Look, the simple reality is you need me to escape. Without me, You won't even make it past the barrier. What barrier? Exactly. And though I hate it, I need you guys to help me and us escape. She out your hand towards me for a handshake. Allies? Let's discuss first. Kat leaned against the wall while the rest of us debated what to do. Can we really trust her? This might just be another trap. It's not like it'd be the first by her you've fallen into, Shaun. You're right. That said, it's not like we have much to lose at this point. Even if she'd done terrible things to us in the past, we still need her to escape. Alright, Allie? I'm fine. I'm just angry at myself. Hey, don't beat yourself up about it. Still alive. That's what counts. She's right, you know. I'm not sure how I'm feeling right now either, but we're alive. That counts for something. You're right, Shaun. As much as I hate to say it, I think we'll need Cap's help, trustworthy or not, if we want to stay that way. But we need to keep an eye on her. Couldn't say it better myself. Alright, Kat. If you want our help, you're gonna need to answer a few questions. Ask away. What the hell is this sick show for? Why have you been forcing us to repeat it over and over? As someone from the Resistance, it should be obvious to you. This is just one of hundreds of killing shows we air. Shows that keep people scared, that keep people from organizing against the government. You want to paralyze people with fear? You broadcast exactly what will happen to you if you rise up. You're monsters, you know that? I don't disagree with you, but we're not in charge here. Some of us still have family to lose, Allie. Continue. Before we air each show, we test them internally on test audiences to see what kind of ratings they bring for the fortunate, what kind of despair they bring for the less fortunate. If these tested well enough, we'd air it, but it wasn't efficient. We couldn't just film a killing show over and over again to see which version of it rated best. You can't bring people back from the dead. It was the same for the test audiences. You couldn't just make them watch multiple versions of a show, as they'd remember previous versions that would influence their opinions. There was no way to test multiple versions of a show without losing the feeling that lives were really in danger. But the memory writer would have changed that. It did. We were able to reuse everybody, our volunteer actors to test audiences. So we could just make people forget what happened. We could film run after run of the show, where each was as if it were the first time to all of you. That's exactly what we've been doing here for the last 2 years. There's a lot to hear. I had a feeling, but to know that people looked at us like we were nothing but lab rats, while I genuinely was afraid for my life, it's sickening. We were silent for a while. If you've been testing the show this long, when's the real thing? There is no real thing. It's only what versions test the best. That said, there's only so much time Damien is willing to spend on this show, and that time is almost up. This is the last run of the show. If you don't escape before the end, you're all as good as dead. I know Damien and I have said that we'd let you and your chosen partner go if you achieve good enough ratings, but it's a lie, isn't it? Yeah. Sorry I waited this long to try to help you guys. I've been too scared to risk it all, but I have nothing left to lose now. He extended her hand to me for a handshake. Allies? At least till we're out of here? Don't really have a choice this time either, huh? If you wanted to, you could report us right now. That's true. My word would count for more than all of yours. But that wouldn't save the person I need to. Like it or not, we have to work together. Then it's the deal. Allie shook Kat's hand. Kat, are you sure you don't want to... I'm fine, Scarlet. It's not important anymore. We don't have any time to waste. If you say so. Anyway. The only time we can escape in this is the last day of the show. Between midnight and just before the sun goes up. That's when the boat comes, to welcome the newly engaged couple. And that's the only way off this island alive. It also doubles as a supply ship. We use it to replenish between each run of the show. Are there no other planes on the island? The boat would be far slower. Unfortunately, it's not so easy. There's a protective shell around the island, which performs two functions. First, it renders us invisible to satellite. It's the reason why your people couldn't find us, Ellie. Second, if anything bigger than a human being tries to get in or outside of the barrier, it'll get fried, unless it's emitting a compatible IFF signal. The only way off the island that will have that signal is the boat. I'm betting it'll be heavily guarded. Well, yes, but not from people on it. The ship itself will be run by a skeleton crew. It's the staff on the island who we'll have to watch out for. It still leaves the question of how we'll deal with them. Last time I checked, there's hundreds of them, not even 10 of us. Actually, it might not be so hard after all. I've got a plan that just might work. Though I have to admit, it's a little crazy. I like the sound of that. If it involves zombies again, I'm out. You explained your plan to us with a renewed confidence that could inspire anyone to believe. Luckily, we still have tomorrow, so we have just the amount of time we need. This just might work, Yui. You're a mad genius. It's crazier than anything I'd imagined, and crazy enough to work. Let's get to work. Wait, were we even listening to the same plan? The others went their separate ways to help prepare for Violet's plan. The cat stayed. Our business wasn't finished just yet. What's up? What's your game? I want to trust you, Cat. I really do. But you're up to something, aren't you? Just like every other time I trusted you. I can't blame you for feeling that way. And I can't take back what I've done before. The only thing I can say to try to make you trust me is that we both have people we care about, Shaun. That if you don't escape, then the person I care about will go down with you. I'm not asking for you to put your neck out for me. You'll never have to. I'm asking for you to help somebody that you've never met, and you never will. Somebody innocent. It's strange. This woman has put me through hell, treated me like a lab rat, and more, and yet, somehow, I think she's telling the truth. Honestly, it doesn't really matter if you do trust me. You'll see tomorrow that I'm going along with Violet's plan either way. I'll trust you, Cat. Sorry for yelling at you earlier. Don't be. I literally shot you. I think that earns you the right to be angry and more, no? I've gotten to know you over these past years. Not for more than a couple weeks straight, but I got to know you. I think you're rude and manipulative and have no problem lying in my face. Hey, can we skip to the part where you compliment me? You're also incredibly crass, you keep secrets from everybody, and... You finished? But I don't think you're a bad person. Every time the show ran, you always talked to me to make me feel like I wasn't alone. You made sure I never lost hope. I know that was never part of the job. You didn't have to do that. Yet you did it, over and over. It must have been so tiring to do that over and over, full well knowing that we were doomed. I don't know why you're doing all this, but I believe that you do care about helping people. I'm flattered, Shaun. But you've got me wrong. What do you mean? Everything I've ever done for you, the others, it's been for my own selfish reasons. It just happens to line up nicely. Though I appreciate the compliment. Unlike before, I couldn't tell if she was telling the truth. We went our separate ways shortly after. Spent the rest of the night helping the others with preparing for the plan. I was exhausted when I went back to my room, but I still couldn't fall asleep for several hours. It's as if something is on the tip of my tongue, but I just barely can't grasp it. Yet somehow I know I'm closer than I've ever been. Kat was true to her word. Instead of having another date on the 6th day of the show, she planned a huge party for the staff instead. I thank you for all your hard work, party. As soon as she told her staff that Violet would be cooking for the event, all of them dropped everything and helped prepare for it. While the staff had prepared the party grounds during the day, each of us were hard at work making sure other parts of it went well. Violet cooked mountains of food as if her life depended on it. In truth, it did. Yui was playing games with the staff outside. It didn't take long for her to become a fast favorite for them. I'm pretty sure half the staff were playing the games just so they could get her to notice them, and she knew it. I have to admit, I'm really impressed by Yui. Her plan is really coming together. Tara and Scarlet joined forces to make sure all the staff joined the festivities. Tara used Kat's producer room to find any stragglers who hadn't joined the festivities. As Tara found them one by one, Scarlet turned on the charm and made sure that they came with her to the party. Then when it was time for Scarlet to switch to her other mission, Allie took over. Though I'm told she employed more force than charm. Meanwhile, I ran around like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to make sure every part of our plan was going smoothly. For once, it did. A few hours later, we had every staff member on the island partying their lights out. Everybody here? You bet. You should have seen the ones that tried to run. I made sure everybody who came stayed too. Perfect. Everybody's eaten? As they should have. It is fine food. Looks like it's all going according to plan. I'm just gonna go ahead and get to the fun part. Scarlet pulled out a remote from her pocket and pressed a button on it. A few seconds later, fireworks were shooting into the night sky above the party grounds. Cheers of the staff are like thunder. And with that, the plan is going as smoothly as can be. Great job, team. We owe you one, Yui. Right back at you, Allie. We cheered as firework after firework lit up the night sky. Whoa, were fireworks supposed to be this bright? Come to think of it, these fireworks are practically blinding. I have to say, I did a pretty good job with these fireworks. Though there might be some side effects to watching them from so close. Let's worry about that later. Fireworks were the signal to those trying to escape that there was nothing left to do except wait. It's gonna be a long night. I know what we said before, but it'd be such a shame to spend tonight just worrying over what may happen tomorrow. We might live, we might die, same as any other day. How about instead, we just dance the night away? You know what? Sounds great. Sounds lovely, let's do it. Come on, let's dance like there's no tomorrow. Yuck. Don't be like that, Tara. Be good for us to blow off some steam. Dancing sounds like exercise. And exercise... Allie picked up Tara over her shoulder. And away we go. Come on, come on. Scarlet grabbed my hand and pulled me with her to where people were dancing. The others followed close behind. You sure are carefree, huh? Some things never change. Maybe we'll get out of here tomorrow. Maybe we won't. Hope we do, though. I like to think that one day, we'll look back and remember this day. It was the most fun night I've ever had, out of the nights that I can remember. We lived like there was no tomorrow. And now, we'll find out if there is a tomorrow for us. We waited in the darkness for hours, waiting for the boat to come. The plan was simple, yet had no room for error. First, we need to make sure the boat really is coming. It's later than usual. You think they're onto us? No, it'll be just a little longer. It's cold. There's no point worrying at this point. If they're onto us now, we're already dead. All we can do is wait. We waited for an hour more, then another, then another. We were losing hope. I guess It's here. Kat pointed towards the ocean. We all looked in unison. Just as she said, the boat was coming. It looked huge, despite how far it was. Must be massive from up close. Alright, it's only going to be a few minutes before it reaches the shore. Let's book it back to the mansion. Second, we need to get back to the mansion before the boat reaches the shore. From what Kat told us, the staff will physically inspect the mansion to make sure we're there. We can't rely on overriding the feeds. If we're not there, they'll sound the alarm, and our chance of escaping will go from slim to nil. According to Kat, it's how I got caught last time. We made it back to the mansion and rushed to our respective rooms. I turned off the light, then jumped on the bed and pretended to be asleep. A few more moments later, I heard the sound of somebody opening a door. Must be them. There was a mechanical rhythm to it. Footsteps, a door would open, more footsteps, a short pause, footsteps again, a door would close, repeat. Over and over, closer and closer, till it got to my room. I tried my best to make my breathing sound natural. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, footsteps. A second later, my door opens. I can tell there's probably about 5 people. Breathe in, they're walking closer to me. Breathe out. I can tell 2 of them are in front of me. They're muttering somewhere under their breath. You have to pity her. Come on, she could do better. Rude. Breathe in. Hey, something's wrong. Feels like my heart stopped. Breathe out. They're moving closer to me, step by step. What's that? Breathe in. I think. Takes everything I have not to move, when every nerve in my body screams to run. This is it. They're onto me. I can't help but ball up the fist in my hand. Never mind. We're done for the night. Let's head out. Sounds good to me. Let them walk further away from me, then outside the room. Finally, they closed the door. Breathed out like never before. On to the next part of the plan. We regrouped downstairs. It wasn't so difficult, was it? Like taking candy from a baby. Wait, where's Tara? I'll go check on her. Just on cue, Tara came running down the stairs. I'm good, don't worry about it. I definitely didn't fall asleep just now. I didn't buy it, and the rest of us didn't either. Alright, back to the problem at hand. We may have avoided detection for now, but now there's going to be upwards of 100 guards on patrol between here and the boat. There's little to no chance we can all make it there without being seen, but it's a chance we'll have to take. Actually, we have just the thing for that. Courtesy of Scarlet and I. What's that? Well, we went through all the trouble of preparing such a big party for all the staff. It'd be a shame if we didn't give them a little extra to chew on, no? You didn't. Oh, she did. It was like an absurd scene from an art house movie gone mad. Okay, they are zombies now. Hundreds of zombies littered the field. You know, I can't believe we ever let you make shit, Scarlet. You better be glad that you did. Now that I think about it, couldn't we have just put a sleeping agent or something like that in? Where's the fun in that? Well, we still have to go past them to get to the boat, right? Don't worry about it. I got a fair share of experience in taking down zombies. Something about that rubs me the wrong way. Don't worry about it. Let's be on our way. We managed to sneak out of the mansion without much of a fuss. As soon as we got into the forest, it was smooth sailing. There were just a few zombies in there. To be honest, how much Scarlet enjoyed herself taking them down was more concerning. I'll worry about that when we get off this island. For now, I'll focus on getting out of here. A few moments later, we made it to the beach. The boat was clear in sight. Wow, it's huge. Let's not waste any time. We rushed onto the ship and ran straight for the captain's deck. You guys wait here. It's practically guaranteed that the engine's been tampered with, and I need to fix it. If I know my father, he'll do it just the way it was last time. You know what, Shaun? Come with me just in case. Maybe that's where the crew members are. Lead the way. It was pitch black inside. I had to shine a light to see anything. Strange. Where are they? Oh, let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. Found it. Chalk it up to my dad outsourcing everything to the grunts. This is child's play to me now. Cat got to work fixing the engine. Watch my back. We still don't know if we're in the clear, and this is gonna take a minute. Got it. I turned around and kept a lookout. It was almost impossible to see anything though. Since when were you a mechanic? Honestly, it's my first failed escape. I had to teach myself. There isn't exactly a trade school on this island. If I hadn't, I'd never be able to help anybody to escape this island. Sorry I didn't trust you before, Cat. I get it now. Why you did what you had to do. Keep talking like that and you'll raise a death flag for both of us. Jeez. We can talk more later, if you'd like. In the meantime, this boat is fixed. Nice. Let's tell the others and get the hell out of here. We ran back to the others and told them the good news. Same time, Cat revved up the engine of the boat. We were good to go. We literally jumped for joy as the boat started to move. Gosh, I can't believe it. We're really doing this. We're finally getting out of here. It is hard to believe. It's true. We did it. No, you don't have to thank me all at once. We really did it. Thank you, Cat. You really saved us. You did. We wouldn't be able to get to this point if it weren't for you. There's no need to thank me. I actually should apologize that I didn't do any of this sooner. The intercom rang out. Cat turned white as a sheep when we heard a voice that was all too familiar. No. Damn it. Damien. Ding ding ding. I guess you learned at least something in school, Cat. Not enough, clearly. But hey, it's something. It's gotta win a participation ribbon somewhere. You knew what I was planning. Of course I did, dearie. I made you. I know exactly how you think. I have to thank you. Your mother would be proud at the show you've given us these last 2 years. What? Oh, I'm sorry. Did I forget to tell you? Oh, you were busy filming Shaun and those other bitches. My team was filming your brave attempts to save these idiots. Gives the audience a little more reason for why they should stay in line, you know? After all, if I do this to my own daughter, imagine what I'd do to someone who wasn't. You're a monster. Flattery will get you nowhere, Kit Kat. Well, it doesn't matter now. Do whatever the hell you want. We're getting out of here. We fixed the boat and there's nothing you can do to stop us now. We're getting out of here. Saying garbage like that is just playing with fire, love. The earth started to shake. Even though we were on the boat, I could tell the island was rumbling. In the distance, a metal barrier slowly rose out of the ocean, all around the island. It climbed higher and higher, till it cast a shadow over the boat. Higher and higher till the only daylight we could see was just from a circle above us. We were trapped. How about we play a little game, little rats? Damien spoke down to us from some kind of holographic screen on the walls. He gestured to some kind of machine behind him, and what looked like a strange kind of stadium. Got myself a little switch here that controls the barrier. One push of this, and you'd be free to go. It'd be easy for you to waltz on in and flip it. We've gotten rid of all of our security. This switch is only going to work if you have two people's handprints with producer level clearance. Sure, you got Cat, but you'll never be able to get mine. What about the same gun I've been shot with before? But don't let that stop you from trying. The hologram disappeared with a click, leaving us in an uneasy silence. Our hands are tied. We have no choice but to go back. Hello, he's got a gun. He'd take us all down before we even have a chance to grab him. We've got no choice though. If we wait here, it's only a matter of time now before they can send people after us. I guess we have to head back to the beach. Let's turn this around. We got an ass to kick. No, that's exactly what Damien wants you to do. The turning around part or the ass kicking. I'll leave that to your imagination. Damien has a script that he wants to see play out. People try to revolt, fail, and get killed. I guarantee you, if we do just that, he has a plan for it. He'll find some kind of way of turn us against each other, and then none of us will be making it out of here alive. Even so, we can't just stay here and wait until we're out of time. Shaun and I will go flip the switch. Besides, we're the only two people here who can do anything about it. Huh? What do you mean by that? I thought that only you and Damien... I'll explain on the way. There's no time. Shaun, are you ready to run? I won't allow it. There's no way we're letting Shaun go back there without us. You said it, sister. I'm not letting you all lose your chance of getting out of here. Scarlet, please. You know exactly what Damien is capable of. I don't like this cat. I know. Let them go. Believe me, I hate this. I hate this to my core, but Cat's right. Cat didn't waste a moment. She rushed for my hand. Before I knew what I was doing, we ran off the boat together and back to the mansion as fast as we could. I was running on pure instinct, like my body had done this before countless times. I looked back to the boat just once, but I couldn't help but linger for a moment. I could tell from their faces that they wanted to be running with me, not waiting for us to come back. I'm gonna make Damien pay for making him suffer like this. We went back to running. I followed Cat's lead. It's earlier than I'd planned, but there's no time like the present for exposition about your past. It'd be good to know why I'm running with you. Would I happen to be resistant to bullets? We'll find out if you are together. So if you look at your history, I'd say no. Hey, I survived the time you shot me. I'm pretty resistant. Touché. Before you came onto the show, you were a producer just like me. We used to work together. We were partners. What? In more ways than one, though. That was forever ago. Living and working on this island was the only life I'd ever known. Sounds awful, but I didn't have a problem with running these shows. There was nothing different to compare it with. Then I met you. I had no idea what would bring someone like you to this island, but meeting you changed me. She smiled like I'd never seen before. You made me see that there was a world out there that was beautiful. You made me hope that I could be a part of that world one day. You helped me realize that we needed to shut this place down if we wanted there to be a world out there at all. For years, we worked together to free as many people as we could from these death trap shows. We'd ship them away to safety, fake their deaths, everything. And we did just that for a time. And then Damien started to suspect something was up. Each day he got closer and closer to figuring out, until I knew we couldn't stay any longer. It was too late by then. Damien caught us. You mean you betrayed me? Can't remember much, but I remember you and we were together. And you sold me out right when we were trying to escape. Why? It's like I said before, I didn't have a choice, and I still don't. I know you have no reason to trust me anymore, and I don't expect you would. But we need each other's help to get off this island now. Since both of us are technically still producers, we can activate the switch if we work together. You don't even have to take Damien down, though I doubt he'd let us use it that easily. Can you trust me enough for that? Honestly, I don't know. Part of me wants to trust Kat, the same part that unconsciously remembers that I did for years and years. But how can I forget that betrayal, even if she had her reasons? Sure, I'll keep an eye on her. When we got back to the mansion, Kat made a beeline for the lab. I ran with her as fast as I could. Our footsteps on the winding metal staircase echoed like a thundering drum. You're about to see the real reason why this show is on an island. Kat took out her master key and slid it into a hidden socket in the wall behind one of the tanks. Don't say I didn't warn you. Same wall split into two doors, slowly revealing another hidden staircase. You think you guys could get an elevator instead? I said the same thing. As soon as I took one step down the staircase, I could tell something was different. Something was telling me that I shouldn't go down there. Come on, we don't have time to waste. We got nothing to lose. With each step down, it grew darker and darker. Eventually, I couldn't even see my hand in front of my face. Then, light. Blinding light, and... applause? Welcome, welcome, you finally made it. Damien's face was plastered over countless screens in a stadium that could fill tens of thousands of people. Countless cameras littered the seats, all focused on the center stage, a battleground sprawling with maze-like walls of all shapes and sizes and littered with guns. Thanks to the walls, we couldn't see Damien directly, but we knew he was here from the screens. We wouldn't have a show with you idiots, so I'm glad you actually came back. Oh man, you couldn't even bring back the others? You're no fun. You just really gotta make me work, huh? Anyway, congrats on making it this far, etc, etc. I gotta say, I'm proud of you for making it here, daughter of mine. I'm impressed that you remembered your old haunt just from a few seconds of video. No thanks to you, you dirtbag. Is that any way to thank someone who gives you room and board? You gave Shaun a way nicer room than I ever got. Blame your mom for that one, kid. Anyway, how about you and be a dear and explain the game we've got going on here? The switch we're looking for is somewhere here. The problem is, so is Damien, and he's got a gun. More ammunition than he needs to kill both of us. What about the weapons on the ground? Maybe there's something we can use to level the playing field. That's all we can do, the odds aren't in our favor. Most of the weapons lying around here are useless. They were meant to make people lose hope that they could fight back. Most is better than all of them, at least. Well, yes and no. There's no hope to lose if they knew all of them were fake. That's Damien's MO. He'll give the people trapped on the shows just enough hope for escape, and he'll use that to trap you. Real guns among the fakes, boats and planes when you're trapped on an island. If we're gonna make it through this, you can't fall for his game. Understand? Loud and clear. And then let's go. There's no time to waste. We ran from wall to wall, take cover between each time. Whenever we had the chance, we'd pick up what looked like a gun and see if it was real. We only had seconds to check for each one. Damien was hot on our trail. A gunshot rang out, blowing a hole through the wall Kat and I were hiding behind. What's the matter? You're like two rats in a lab. I fired again. Shrapnel from the wall scraped my arm. Fuck. It's like my arm had been lit on fire. Shaun, you okay? I'll live, don't worry. We need to find a weapon. We need to find the switch. We ran behind another wall, narrowly dodging another shot from Damien. It dawned on me that he wasn't even trying to hit us. He was trying to make us scared. And it was working. But why? He's reloading, come on. We dashed out from behind the wall and ran past Damien, looking desperately for the switch and for any weapons we could find. I managed to pick up 2 pistols. Kat did the same. Damn, looks like they're fake too. How's yours looking? I took a look at the first one. Upon further inspection, it was clear it was no more than a plastic toy. But the second one? Kat realized it the same second I did. It was real, with a single bullet loaded. Alright, that's good. Another 2 shots rang out, blowing a hole in the wall, just next to where my head was a second ago. Fuck, how come he gets that fucking hand cannon? But just got to go somewhere, I guess. Anyway, we've got the gun. It's probably the only real one in the stadium. We need to find the switch now. Even with a gun, we're no match for him. Sounds good to me. We ran further through the stadium, opposite the entrance, until we were square in the middle of the stadium. And there it was. The switch. You'd think they'd have hit it better. Damien's laughter echoed through the arena as it reappeared on the screens above the arena. Congrats, you found the switch. It's a damn shame I forgot to mention something about this switch here. I won't do jack shit, even if you both have access, as long as I've got a heartbeat. And I plan on sticking around. But I'm not heartless. In fact, I think I'm a pretty decent guy for what I'm about to do. Kat looked like she had just seen a ghost. Kat, Shaun, I've got an offer you can't refuse, but only one of you claim it. If either of you kills the other one, I'll let the one left standing go. We'll forget this ever happened, call it a wrap on find love or die trying. I'll even let the survivor leave this island. I can't even guarantee I'm telling the truth because this is airing live to the world right now. Or I can even guarantee. People bow down and get in line because I tell them the truth, because they know I keep my word. They wouldn't believe me for a second if I ever went back on it, you know? Not a bad deal, huh? Especially considering that if no one takes that offer, I'll just kill both of you. I'm giving you 5 minutes to decide, but I'm coming for you. Screen shut off. Kat and I looked at each other, a mix of horror and fear on our face, and there was no doubt that mine mirrored hers. Shaun, I can't imagine what's racing through your head now. You probably think I'm gonna betray you again, right? I was at a loss for words. You don't have to say anything. Look, I can't blame you for doubting me. And honestly, if you just shot me right now, I'd be okay with it. Because then, you'd be free to go. I know Damien will keep his word. But if there's even the slightest chance that you want me to be able to escape from here too, then I need to ask you something that I know sounds insane. What's that? I need you to give me the gun. The only real one we've got. Look, I'm not stupid enough to know how that sounds. Simple reality is, I've known you for so long now, and one thing I know about you is that you're a terrible shot. Me? I'm as good as you can get on the island. I think I'm our best bet to taking him down. But I understand completely if you're not willing to trust me. If you think I'm lying, I get it. And if you don't trust me, she closed her eyes and pressed her finger against her forehead. Then please, just make it quick. The gun in my hands had never felt so heavy. On one hand, a guarantee that I can make it out of here alive. On the other, trusting Kat. Can I trust Kat? After all that she's done to me? Can I really believe her words, when the memories that can prove or deny them are lost to me? I've got no time. I have to choose. Oh my god. I mean, she attempted to murder me before. But at the same time, if I kill her now, then instead of letting her kill Damien, if it's a possibility, if she's not lying. Okay, so the thing is, if I give her the gun, it's either a 50-50 of she kills Damien and we leave, she kills me and no one leaves, and if I keep the gun and kill Kat, then I leave. There's a possibility of Damien not even letting me leave, and then there's also a possibility of Damien actually letting me leave, but I killed Kat and she might have been telling the truth. So I mean, killing Kat would technically be the best choice in the situation, but I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna trust her. I trust you, Kat. I held out the gun to her. You do? After everything I've done? After everything you've done, yes. I still trust you. I know you've been forced to do some awful things to people that didn't deserve it. But I know there's good in you, and I believe in that good. Take it. Thank you, Shaun. She took the gun from my hands. I won't let you down. Well, if you do, it's not like I'd be around for long enough to regret it. So hope it doesn't come to that. Let's do this. We decided to seek Damien out and try to get the drop on him, rather than waiting for him at the switch. My heart was practically beating out of my chest. I couldn't tell if Kat was as nervous as I was. If she was, she hit it with the same poker face she always had. We dashed to another wall for cover, looked around and repeated. How much time has passed? Feels like we've been looking for him for hours with the pressure, though I know it can't be more than a few minutes. As the minutes passed by, I could tell Kat was growing more and more impatient. She trained her gun wherever she looked, her trigger finger ready to shoot out our only one bullet at any time. Left, right, I glanced around and looked to her and back again. Her hands were shaking. Look left, look right. I've only got one shot to make or break it. Look back to Kat. She's checking a corner ahead for us. She looks left, she looks right. Takes everything I have to stay focused. Don't think about dying, not even the possibility. She turns to look back at me. Oh no. Damien's walking closer and closer from behind with his gun resting on his shoulder. He can't be more than 10 meters away. He slowly lifts the gun off from its resting position. Before I know it, I'm running towards her with everything I have. Something is making me run. Something I've forgotten. Something I'm just starting to remember. It's the two of us at the beach. I can see it now. How many hours has it been? We made it to the ship, but it wasn't enough. The alarms were deafening. Security was going to be here any minute. Our only saving grace, our ship wouldn't start. That's it then? I never heard Kat ever sound so desperate. At least we tried, right? Who else can say that? She lowered her head and leaned on me. No, we're not giving up just yet. There's nothing we can do, Shaun. The engine's broken and the guards will be here any minute. We've got at least some weapons. It's not over yet. I grabbed the precious few firearms we had and split them between us. There's two of us and hundreds of them. There's no point. Not to mention, you're a terrible shot. You're right. Taking them head on would be suicide. But that's not what you'll be doing. Me? I'm just some nobody. But you? You're the big man's daughter after all. Your word means a lot to them. She was horrified. I would be too if I were in her shoes right now. No, I won't let you do this, Shaun. You don't have a choice. Look around. Look, I'm not happy either, but both of us dying here would be worthless. But if you live, you get a second chance to make it out of here. A second chance to see the other side. I know, but what's the point? Not with you. You have to find that out yourself. We're almost here. Come on, we're running out of time. Her hands were shaking. Looked like she was going to drop her gun any second. I hate you for this, you know? I know, and I'm sorry. She slowly raised her arms and trained the gun sights directly at me. Oh, so I told her to do this. So yeah, if I would've killed her, that would've been pretty bad. And now, we wait. Can you do me a favor? What's that? Don't shoot the face, please. I'm rather proud of it. I don't know what I'd do without my supernaturally good looks. No. She laughed through the tears. I would have still loved you, even without them. Right back at you, Kat. She kissed me for the last time. I love you, Shaun. I love you too. Sorry, but it's gonna be the face. Let me just take off the safety. But wait, I didn't sign up for this. Heard my favorite sound one last time. Hear the guards coming now. There's only seconds left. On the bright side, I won't owe you $10. Our bet? She laughed. I think it's pretty clear we won the bet. I can see the guards now. My time is up. What makes you say... You did it. I'm alive? Everything hurts so bad. I almost wish I wasn't. The shock must have knocked me out cold. I coughed up blood as my vision flashed in and out rapidly. Too fast to tell if I'd been fatally shot. It was all I could do to try to stay conscious. It's as you said, Father. Anyone who breaks our law must be punished. I could just barely make out of her voice, but it brought comfort to me. You really do take after me. You made your old man very, very proud. Oh, will you look at that? Looks like our little hero's got some life left. You know, Shaun, you're in luck. See, the whole escaping thing? I'm afraid I'm gonna have to fire you. No severance. I tried to make a witty comment back, but the only thing that came out of my mouth was coughed up blood. Jeez. But you're in luck. A new opportunity's just opened up, and I think... He kicked me in the stomach, then rolled me over with his foot. You'd be the perfect fit. He laughed as he crushed my palm under his foot. You might think I'm going soft on you by not killing you outright. He looked down at me, then back at her. Mark my words, you'll both wish I had. Do whatever you want. I don't care about Shaun anymore. He laughed maniacally. I never did like Shaun much anyway. My vision's fading. His words turned to a vapor as I could feel myself crumpling into nothing. Last thing I saw was her face. She was holding the river back with everything she had. Who were you gonna fool with a poker face like that? Kat, I love you. Always have, always will. So sorry for what I forced you to do. Even more so, I'm so sorry that you'll be alone now. I hope one day you'll understand. Flashback to reality. I've almost reached Cat. I pushed myself to run faster and faster. Faster than I've ever ran in my life. Cat doesn't see him, but she sees the alarm going off in my eyes. Damien points his gun at his daughter. He's preparing to take the shot. Cat starts to turn around, but there's no time. Damien's finger pulls back on the trigger. What am I doing? I see the world turn to slow motion. Why am I throwing away my life for Cat? These memories, they're mine, yet not at the same time. Who can say if I'm the same person as before, who loved her so much? Who can say if these memories form a completely different me compared to what I am now? There's no time for answers. Even if I've forgotten you over and over, somehow I remember you, and I know that I would do anything for you. I run past Kat and throw myself in front of her, because I love her. A gunshot rings out. It's like my body is struck by lightning instead of flame. He fires again and again. Undescribable pain ripples across my body as shot after shot rips through me. It's not like the movies where someone can stand after being shot over and over. Firing stops and my vision starts to fade. I can barely hear him reloading over the sound of my body screaming in agony. My knees buckle. I start to fall. As I fall, I can see a cat with her gun trained on Damien. There's no fear in her eyes. Her hands aren't shaking. She's biting her lips so hard that I can see it's bleeding. The last thing I see before the dark takes me is her finger pressing down on the trigger. Wake up, Shaun. Please, please don't die. What's happening? Am I alive? I'd never heard her sound so desperate. Please, just wake up. I can't lose you again, not again. It's like everything I had just to open my eyes and breathe. Kat was cradling me in her arms, with tears streaming down her face. Thank God, don't pass out again. You almost gave me a heart attack. Sorry, Kat, how am I alive? I coughed up blood. Save your strength. Did you get him? We did. That's great. The switch? We should be able to get it now. We're in no shape to walk. And to be honest, I'm not in the best shape either. I looked up at her and felt my heart drop. Been shot. She laughed. Yeah, now that I know what it feels like, I'm even more sorry for shooting you back then on the beach. There's nothing else you could have done, Kat. That didn't stop me from regretting it every second of these past 2 years. That day, I made a promise to myself. Didn't matter how many people I'd have to hurt, or how much I would have to hurt, I would get you off this island, alive and well, even if it was the last thing I did. Okay, well, I kind of assumed that when she was saying that she needed to save somebody, she was talking about me. Because why else would she continue to be there every day and do that one single thing? I mean, obviously she'd be forced to do it, but it was like a situation of, yeah, if she actually betrayed me, why would she like still continue to help me? Pretty much what my character said himself. Like, why would she still like talk to me in between and everything? But anyways, even if I had to see you fall in love with somebody else 100 times, yeah, that, just thinking about that, the fact that she had to deal with that, that's crazy. Oh crap, what did I do? That was the last thing. Even if I had to see him fall in love with somebody else 100 times, even if I knew it meant I could never be with you again, I made a promise back then, and I'll keep it, even if it kills me. Slowly, Kat tried to lift me off from the ground and onto her back. She screamed and coughed up blood as she tried to lift me up. Stop, you're gonna get yourself killed. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. She lifted me onto her back and took one step back towards the switch. I told myself back then, she stepped forward again, her legs were trembling, that if you weren't leaving this island alive, neither would I. Another step closer. Because I love you, you know? One more step. I know you don't remember most of our time together. Her breath was getting ragged. She'd take several steps and have to pause for breath. Honestly, I'm glad you even remember bits and pieces. I'm grateful for whatever I can get. Switch is in sight. And maybe the you I fell in love with doesn't even exist anymore. We're so close to it, yet so far. But I'd like to believe it's still you, Shaun. That you're still the same Shaun that I fell in love with. You were just steps away from the switch. That I'm still the one you love. She laughed bitterly. It's just wishful thinking, I know. We're here. We made it. You just... She coughed up blood again. Need to put your hand on the scanner. Can you do that? Got it. Used the last of my strength to reach my hand forward. With every inch I drew closer to it, my vision grew darker. Pushed harder and harder with everything I had. My turn. Done. All that's left is to pull the switch. Sorry, Shaun. I'm gonna have to put you down for a second. No problem. Cat gently rested me on the ground. Fuck, I can barely stand now. She tumbled towards the switch. She managed to catch it with her hand and used it to keep herself upright. Here we go. The moment we'd all been waiting for. She pulled it with the last of her strength. A second later, she fell to the ground by my side. The cacophony of machinery filled the stadium. That must be the barrier opening. We did it, Shaun. I'm sorry, Shaun. What for? I don't think we're getting out of here after all. I can't even move. It's okay. We had a good run, you know. Guess you could say that. At least the girls will be able to get out of here. They deserve better than to die here. Yeah, I love you, Shaun. Always have, and always will. For the last 2 years, I dreamed of us starting a new life together, somewhere far from here. But I guess life's not like the movies. Dreams don't come true. I wish we could have met in a different place, a different time. Maybe, just maybe then, Shaun, we... Cat? Cat! Her eyes were closed. Streams of tears ran down from both her eyes. My vision blurred even more as tears welled up in my eyes. If we could have met in a different place, a different time, I'm sure our story would have been so different. I wish we could have, Cat. I tried to move closer to her, but my body refused. It was all I could do to move my head around. I looked around with futility, for some kind of miracle that could save us both. This is too sad an ending. I looked at Cat. I looked to the heavens, which had all but abandoned us. I looked behind us, and I saw what could only be described as angels. I tried to speak, but no words would come out. I must be dreaming. I must be. The world turned to black. Am I dead? I keep asking myself that. It's bound to be right sooner or later. But somehow, I think there's more to come in my story. I know there's one person I want to spend the rest of it with. I love you. Going with Cat. There's no way I'm not. I woke up in an unfamiliar room. Is the room shaking? I tried to get up. Ah, fuck. I looked down at my body. I'd been bandaged up enough to look like a mummy. But I'm alive. Shaun, you're up. I was gonna go with Yui originally, but because I know the full story with Cat and the main character, it's kind of like impossible for me to just not go with that. Now, if she had actually betrayed me, that'd be a whole nother story, but she didn't. Like, she was forced to, and then forced it. Like, she stood by my side through literally everything. Watched me get with other girls countless times. And it was like, it's like, if I didn't choose her, it'd be kinda messed up. Anyways, where are we? We're on the boat. We're miles away from the island by now. That's a relief. Everyone's okay? I'll let you be the judge of that. Yui ran off, then came back a few moments later. You had us worried, Shaun. I'm so glad to see you're alright. You didn't make it easy to save you either. Oh, and if you find yourself craving brains or bananas, it's entirely unrelated to how I treated you. Just thankful it worked. So good to see you safe and sound, Shaun. If you died after all you've been through, I'd kill you. But I'm really happy that you're here for me to say that too. You did great, Shaun. The Resistance could use somebody like you. Besides, doesn't look like you have a real job anymore, huh? Thanks, guys. You really stuck out to save your neck to save Cat and I can never thank you enough. It's what you would do for us, Shaun. Indeed, we ran after you two just moments after you'd left. There was no point in us escaping if it wasn't with you, Shaun. Yeah, I know Kat said not to, but hey, I didn't remember that at the time, so it's all good. I managed to save the Brothers 5 too. I couldn't just let them be stranded after, well, all that we've been through together. Glad to hear that. There's no way we could escape without them. I nervously looked around the room. Is Kat? Kat's doing well too. She's resting in the room next door. She didn't think you wanted to see her. I see. Thanks for letting me know, Yugi. I should be thanking you. None of us would have made it off the island if it wasn't for you and Kat. It's true. Despite whatever you may hear Tara say, I'm just saying, I have a pretty mean right hook. It's so good to see you all. I've got no idea what the world ahead has for each of us, but whatever it has in store, we'll face it together. You bet. I'm surprised you can say that with a straight face, but yes. I wouldn't have it any other way. I could really use you as a PR person for the Resistance, Shaun. We've got a thing for speeches. Wait a minute. If everyone's here and Kat's next door, who's driving the boat? Everyone looked at Tara. And that's a serious exit for Terabyte. She ran off like a cartoon character. We laughed together. Felt like it's been so long since we could just laugh. No cameras, no fear. Just friends fooling around. Anyway, so good to see you're okay. That said, team, we need to give Shaun some time to rest. Once again, I'm not trying to quarantine you because we didn't use a zombie virus Once again, I'm not trying to quarantine you because we didn't use the zombie's virus's unique properties to save you. Thanks, Scarlet. And thank you for everybody for coming to see me. Don't mention it. We're all in this together and all that, right? See you later, Shaun. Alright, enough of the cheese. Get out before Shaun before Shaun needs rest. Yes. And with that, I was alone. I thought they'd never leave. Hey Scarlet, what's up? Nothing. She was hiding a syringe behind her back. Need to give you a shot for good luck. Right. I put my arm out forward. Well, the doctor knows best. I'm not a doctor. She injected the good luck into my arm. I just wanted to say thanks again. My life went off the rails back at the island, even before the show. That's putting it lightly. She laughed. I know if I stayed there, I never would have been truly happy for the rest of my life. Never would have been able to help people, ever again. So thank you again, Shaun. You've been out, so there's no way you'd know, but today's the day that would have been the last day of the show. The final ceremony where you ask one of the girls to be with you. I'm not saying anyone's rushing him for a proposal, but I think everyone wants to hear an answer from you. That kind of decision takes some time to think over, so I figured you'd need a little space. Thanks, Scarlet. You're right. It's my pleasure. She kissed me on the cheek. Well, I'll see you later. See you, Scarlet. And then I was alone in the room. It's a tough choice, but it's one I know I have to make. They're all such incredible people. I'd be lucky to be with any of them. Anyone would. I sat in silence for a time, both resting and contemplating what to do. Is it a life of excitement with Allie? A life of rediscovery with Scarlet? A life enjoying the simple things with Yui? A life challenging our limits with Violet? A life of freedom with Tara? And then, I just knew. I got up from the bed, walked to the door of my room, and looked for the room next to mine. There, I looked through the window, and I just knew. Opened the door. Hey, Shaun. You look like hell. You don't look much better. I'm surprised your face is intact. Survived a lot now, hasn't it? Yeah. You know, the girls are hoping you'll ask one of them out today. They'll get the wrong idea if they see you here. I came here for you, Kat. And only you. You've been there for me, from even before I can remember meeting you. There's no way I could have ever gotten off this island, or anyone else could have if it wasn't for you. And I know that there's so much we have to figure out, and so much we don't know in this world. But I know I want to face that world with you. Kat. Tears were streaming down her face. I didn't want to hope for it. I walked next to her and got down on one knee. I tried so hard to convince myself that it would never happen, because it was just too painful to even hope. I don't have a ring or anything, but I'm sure I can get one later. I mean, you don't need a ring. Will you marry me? I love you, Kat. I love you too, Shaun. More than you could ever know. Wherever life takes you is where I'll go. We held each other close and kissed for the first time in years. Memories flooded back with each passing moment. The day we met, our first kiss, fights in the rain, making up, the joy of just being with the person you love. The day I proposed to her, the first time, and now today, I'm sure there's many more to come. Here's to making new memories together, Kat. I love you. Okay. Oh, that was... That was way better than I was expecting it to be. Because usually, a bunch of dating sims are just overly... like, I don't know. They just go too far with the characters liking the main character thing, and it doesn't really have like a good story. But this actually had a great story, and it's probably one of the best visual novel type games I've played, because I've played a decent amount of them, because I don't know, I just like the stories. Like choose your own adventure types stories is like one of my favorite genres, or not genres, but favorite types of games. So like The Walking Dead and like visual novel type stuff like that. And I also like romance, just only when I'm the main character, I guess. Not because like I want to be with the characters, just because it's like it feels like I'm a part of the story, and that's what I like about those type of games. But anyways, yeah, I really like this. If you guys want to like play, I might personally play the like choose other people throughout the thing myself, or like just at the end. Like I might do that personally, but I don't think I'm gonna record any more of that. So if you guys want to play the game yourself, it's completely free. I found it on Steam. It's called Find Love or Die Trying, so you can play it on there if you want to, and choose whoever you want to choose and all that. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Alright, later guys. Peace.